Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Soup Podcast. I am Bo, Oliver, the Blue Cricket. I am here today with Teddy, the Nerd Soup Human, Nash, the Nerd Soup Bot, and Aaron. You're here all the time. They know who you are. How you guys doing today?
Doing good. I've been really busy lately. Getting the apartment ready.
How's it coming?
It's getting there.
Living the dream.
We're done painting. I'll never paint again.
What color?
We got a eggshell on the walls.
So
And-
white.
Sound like Andre Rublev.
No, well, eggshell's more like a hint
I'll
of
never
gray.
paint again.
It's like the Parks and Rec when they all have the different shades of black, and they ask which one they want. It's like, oh, those all look black to me.
They start laughing.
And they start laughing.
Stupid.
I can see Teddy Bob Ross in it. Oh, that's nice.
It's terrible.
That's really nice.
It's
made a lot of
my
happy
neck
little
is killing me,
mistakes.
dude.
Remember
Oh my
when you
God.
helped paint my room? Me, you, and
Oh
Joe?
yeah, I remember that.
My room looks like a disaster.
Yeah.
So
I didn't do too good. I missed a lot of
only
spots.
imagine.
I had to go back with like a third coat. Normally it's just 2 coats. But
Did
I
you
gotta put a
guys
third
like
on.
write messages on the wall before you painted?
Oh,
Gotta
Damn.
write decrypted messages.
Bad luck.
you were not romantic, man. You could have put some good stuff for Elena.
I could have. Then before we left, like take the
Bo.
paint off.
You're smooth as can be.
Nash, how are you doing today? Welcome back.
Yes, thank you for having me back. I'm doing good. Pleasure.
And Aaron, you're okay?
Yeah, no.
Doing all right?
Like you said, everyone knows me, so no point in me even talking then.
Oh man, best podcast
Here we
ever. I want to let you guys know that you can listen to us on iTunes at the Nerd Soup Podcast and SoundCloud at the Nerd Soup Podcast.
Did you clear your throat because he cleared his throat, or did you really have to clear your throat?
Both.
No, I feel like I got to do it.
Yeah, I might as well.
Okay, now that we're all clear. And SoundCloud, iTunes. Send us your questions at NerdSoup4You on Twitter. Send us your questions at nerdsoupforyou@gmail.com. And yeah, let's get into it. What do we have here? First story. Are we talking Aladdin or Hellboy?
Well,
First?
there's not a lot of stories. I think we'll do Aladdin.
Show you the world.
Yeah, we'll do Aladdin. The Will Smith picture everyone's talking about. We'll do a little Hellboy. And
Terrible.
Then, all right, we'll get
Easy.
to it.
Of course you liked it.
And then we'll do we'll have an Aquaman review and a Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse review, which we recorded last week with Marissa. So we're really getting everybody involved here.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm getting on the Spider-Verse?
You could
I could give my points?
give your thoughts before
Alright.
we decide
No.
ours.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you ditched us.
I didn't. I couldn't. And you had fucking
I
5
didn't. I
people with you.
couldn't. I shan't. What do you mean I didn't have 5? We had 3 people. Josh wasn't recording.
Oh.
Whatever.
Well, I figured you invited
sorry I
Marissa for
couldn't
the
make it.
podcast.
No,
Dude.
we had Nash come.
Yeah, I'll set it up for you, Nash. So we're walking out of the movie theater. We're all walking towards the exit. And you know how there's the main exit and the exit by the theaters themselves?
Right.
Which is the quick way to the parking lot. So we're all walking, and Teddy's just standing there. And we're like, oh, Teddy, you coming? He's like, I don't know. I can't record. She's like, all right. He's like, all right, I'll see you guys later. So he leaves the theaters and goes out the main exit. And we're walking out the quick way. We're like, why did he go around? Like, oh, maybe he parked on the other side. That doesn't make any sense. Like, oh, that's dumb. Like, we're gonna see him. So we walk out, and out comes Teddy
Oh
strolling
my
in.
God.
Like, hey, Ted, that was the movie.
Get your steps in, boy. There it is.
You know, I figured I'd walk around the main entrance instead of taking the side entrance like a
In this country,
baboon.
we take the main entrance. Oh,
Yeah.
God.
So me and
Is that
Bo will do.
derogatory to him?
Yeah. I mean, he's a chimp.
It's not nice. Yeah. So Aquaman, Spider-Verse, and we have some questions and debate topics.
Yeah,
I've
but what
got
you
in the
forgot with
crowd.
that, too, is that 2 days before, Teddy goes, so we're reviewing it after the movie. And I'm like, yeah. And then after the movie, he's like, yeah, I can't do it.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
You did.
I texted you?
You did. You said you couldn't. You're not going to come record, and then you just walk the opposite way.
No, but I'm saying 2 days before, he was when we recorded, I think, a podcast.
Okay.
He's
Why
like,
didn't why couldn't I do it? What time is this?
It was late.
I'm like 10.
Yeah, that's probably why I was tired.
Fair enough.
What movie did you ask
At least
me
you had
to
a
go
good
to
reason.
Saturday?
Aquaman.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was late, honestly.
At least I said
It was
no. I
last
didn't
minute.
just play around, you know?
Should have been ready. Got to stay ready.
I texted, like, all my friends, because I had, like, 4 extra tickets, and I was like, oh, I just ran out of friends.
Yeah, I wish I could have went. I was working on the apartment.
Well, I didn't even know why I texted you.
If you would have told me earlier, I could have swung it.
Yeah, it was too late.
I mean,
Thank God
like,
for that,
hold on.
because that movie was...
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll wait.
I'm
We'll
pretty
wait.
curious on it. But would you guys rather get lied to or just get told, like, a blatant truth that hurts?
It depends how harsh the truth is.
Yeah, there's nuances to lies. It depends.
Because I'd rather get lied to.
Give me a nice, sweet lie.
You know?
Butter me up with the
Actually,
biggest lie you
when
got.
I was younger, lie to me. Now I could care less.
Yeah, I'm very truthful now too. Like today with the podcast situation.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna lie and say I can't record at 8. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna tell him I texted Nash.
That was a big mess, but we're all here now, so.
Well, I mean, you're just terrible.
Sorry, I care too much. I want the best podcast possible, and I think we got one today. So,
so far it's
start
going
it
well.
off.
4-man podcast, man. It's
crazy.
my favorite type.
Crazy
Nice.
thought.
We make it work.
Well, it's like my thought process was we already talk over each other all the fucking time now.
What are you talking about?
Come
We
on.
never do that.
We need buttons.
What?
We need buttons to
Yeah.
talk.
like my turn to talk.
Yeah, that's gonna make it less obnoxious.
Yeah.
That's my point.
No, Teddy's gonna like make an awesome point and be like, Teddy, you forgot to turn your mic back on. Oh, fuck.
That could happen.
Forgot what I just said.
A mute button, like they do when.
You play that back.
All right, so what's our first topic here anyway?
We'll
Hellboy?
we'll do the Aladdin.
Aladdin.
That's the hot in the streets. Mostly, it's hot Jafar, which I'm all for. My Jafar to be a snack, and Will Smith as the genie.
Jafar is a snack.
Yeah, and Will Smith as the genie, which people are not happy about. Although they're saying he is going to be CGI and blue, so this was just kind of like
Am I
a
blue?
photo shoot. So
Well, no, this is his human form when he's walking around the streets.
Mm.
So
Oh
I
yeah,
mean-
that does happen to the genie, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the movie.
so
I haven't seen that in a while.
he
Me
also
neither.
said that it's not fully done yet too. So I mean,
Yeah,
they say it a
just-
lot with first looks. If it doesn't come out too good, like if the public doesn't like it that much, yeah, it's not done yet. We're still working on
Yeah,
it.
they always say that. And it usually never changes. It barely changes. Like, I remember Oscar Isaac as Apocalypse. They're like, oh, the look is going to change with CGI. Got worse. This looks, I don't know how much worse this can get. This looks bad.
Nah.
It looks like really good cosplay, which is very bad movie.
You know, the last time we saw like a CGI of Will Smith was that what was that fish movie? I mentioned it a while ago, but I forgot what it
Shark
was. Yeah, and he looked horrible.
Well, he was a fish.
I know,
Yeah.
but you know, he was like a fucking block
They
face.
did kind of make it look like him.
I know.
Yeah, that was weird.
yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I guess I was expecting like a blue. When I first saw it in the morning, I woke up. I'm like, what the hell is this? So I was expecting a big fucking blue CGI genie, and it was just Will Smith. And I was like, well, that's a little weird because I'm so used to the Robin Williams genie. But
You think if he was alive, they would have got him back?
You would have to.
yeah, it's kind of like with
It's a respect thing, right?
with Lion King. How they got
Yeah,
James
with
Earl
James Earl
Jones
Jones, yeah.
back, so they would have got Robin Williams back, I think. So
I don't know though. Would they? I feel like they would want to do a little switcheroo.
Well, who's the modern day Robin Williams who has that improv, quick-witted comedy? Because that's what it was with the first Aladdin. They just put him in a studio and said, say whatever you want, and we'll just animate it. And that's another thing where I feel it translates better to animation. I don't know how they're going to do the genie, if it's going to be scripted. Will Smith is funny, but he's not a comedian like Robin Williams. He's not that type of comedic performer. I'm thinking if there was a better choice. He looks terrible as the character. So.
But
Andrew Dice,
yeah,
It sounded like I was
I
going
mean-
to say something positive,
Yeah.
and I was like, wait, no, I hate it.
Andrew Dice Clay.
oh my god.
I was sleeping in here. What are you doing?
That'd
Oh,
be funny.
rub my lamp. Oh.
No, but Will Smith brings like an aspect to Disney that we don't usually see, like the hip hop, you know, trendy. He's funny. Yeah, I like him.
What, he's spitting bars as a genie?
They're saying he's gonna have a musical act in it, not a
Hell
musical
yeah.
act,
Oh,
but like
boy,
a
he's
musical
going to have the
number.
Will Smith nice rap as the
Yeah.
genie.
Little hip hop in it.
I love Will Smith.
I
but
love him too.
He's been in some bad movies, but I think, I'm not going to judge the movie off of a few set photos, or not even set photos, photo shoots.
If Disney trusts him, I mean, right? Come on.
Yeah, I'll wait for the trailer to
Yeah.
judge it.
Is he going to do a song with DJ Jazzy Jeff?
Produce the beat.
If it's anything like Miami, oh man, I'll go see it.
What's Miami?
Welcome to Miami. If he's got a song like that that slaps,
Best Will Smith song.
No.
I like Summertime.
Girls Ain't None But Trouble.
Girls
I would have to say Miami.
Parents just don't understand. That's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah. Oh,
I didn't know he had that many songs. I thought it
killed
was
it.
Miami, the Fresh Prince song, and Wild Wild West.
getting jiggy with it.
Oh, wow.
Getting
wow.
jiggy with it.
Oh, there it is.
Men in Black song.
Men in Black song is great.
That one bumps, dude. I actually vined that. That was my first vine. with the beat that comes in,
Oh, yeah.
bumping.
That is a fresh beat, man.
I'm gonna play it later.
Yeah, I mean, Aladdin, Jasmine, they look...
She looks good.
Somebody said that you can't have Jafar hotter than Aladdin because you're rooting for Aladdin, right? It's just not believable.
guess.
Jasmine's like, I can't marry this 6'2" good-looking prince.
But he's a prick, right?
What about Gilbert Godfrey? Is he coming back as the parrot?
God, I hope so.
Oh, we saw.
Great.
What's the monkey's name? Abu? No, what was it? Is it Abu?
I don't know.
Apu, I think it is. Apu?
No, Apu's from Simpsons. I think it's Abu.
Abu. Yeah, it is Abu.
We saw him. He looked good. CGI.
I
Do
didn't
you
see
guys
that.
do you guys like the CGI reboots of these movies?
No.
Well, Jungle Book looked amazing.
You think that set the bar too high?
Maybe, because if you watch Mowgli, you're like, oh, what is this? Like, Jungle Book blew that out of the water. So, I don't know. We're going to get him, so you might as well. I thought
Yeah, right.
Beauty and the Beast was great, too. I feel like the CGI.
Oh, the CGI.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it looked fantastic.
Well, I meant in terms. Do you guys like the?
Do you like the
rebootings
idea of these live-action remakes of the
Yeah.
animated classics? No, I don't
my
like it at
question.
all. Yeah. I'll just
We
take
talked
that.
about that last time
Yeah, we talked. I'm not a fan
when
of
I
it.
said I liked Dumbo. Dumbo. And
Somebody's
isn't it,
talented.
isn't it weird that we brought up cartoon video games into movies, and Sonic comes out?
Yeah, now you're seeing them all over the place.
Yeah,
They're
and
listening.
Gears of War is supposedly getting a reboot back into a movie.
Were you here for Sonic?
No,
No, you weren't here for Sonic.
No.
What did you think about that?
I texted you once I found out the voices.
Yeah, John
That
Ralphio.
John Ralphio is going to be Sonic. That's great. Jim Carrey is going to be Dr. Eggman, which I absolutely love. But I told you I would have did. I probably would have did Danny DeVito.
Yeah, that would have been good.
That's
Yeah,
perfect.
him, or I would have did Game of Thrones. Why am
Peter
I?
Dinklage.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, that
I
would've
thought those two would have been great.
Yeah, that would have been
Yeah,
interesting.
but I think everybody's making those like leg memes, like legs are hot
You
dogs.
trying to seduce me, Mr. Sonic?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to see. I like the cast that they have for it, but
Yeah. So what's our next story?
Well, speaking of reboots, we got Hellboy.
Good transition.
Thank you. I've been
This
working on it.
trailer.
Sorry, Ted. I know you like to make the transitions.
I wanted to
but
hit that one so bad.
Were you thinking of it?
Yeah, the reboots. That's why I said reboot.
I'm calling
sorry.
your bluff.
First thing about this trailer, David Harbour, perfect casting.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing, why not just make Hellboy 3 with Ron Perlman? It seems like Hellboy again. It feels like an unnecessary reboot. It's weird.
This one seems more of like more action in this one.
It's very lighthearted action
Yeah.
comedy.
I do like the cheesy tone.
Yeah. It reminded me a little of like not all the way like Ragnarok, but kind of how like they're just reinventing the character, making it more loose and funny and maybe a little more witty with like some kick-ass action sequences.
He looks
And
great.
I don't mind it. I thought it looked fun, you know. I don't know if it's going to be a spectacular movie, but from what we got in the trailer, I feel like it could be a good time.
It's gonna be a fun movie to go see.
Yeah, to shove
you know?
some popcorn in your face, laugh,
Yeah.
watch some badass fight sequences.
Yeah, I like watching David Harbour just talk out of the side of his mouth. He's good for that type of character.
Mm-hmm.
He's gruff, he's gritty, and he's kind of just grumbling through the movie. And the tone, to me, is the best part of the trailer. A lot of people were mad because it didn't look as cinematic as the earlier two movies. And I think that's why Guillermo del Toro didn't come back for 3, because he was like, if we're going to finish this, I need like $250 million. And they're like, go make
Just
Shape
give me
of
the
Water.
bag.
Right, just give me a bag, turn the other way, and we'll make your movie. But those movies just weren't making that much money. So this one does look scaled back, yet somehow the same. I guess the effects have just improved, because what was the last Hellboy? That was 2006, I think, Hellboy 2?
That was a
08?
while ago.
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's in that range. So yeah, I enjoyed the trailer.
Is Hellboy like a well-known character in comics? Like, is he a mainstream comic character?
Well, I think the movies have made him more mainstream. But he's one of those characters that he's not Marvel or DC. I think he's Dark Horse, I think. I've never read Hellboy. But yeah, he's pretty popular.
Is that the direction that like villains and superheroes are going into? Like these quirky, fun movies? Like it seems like Aquaman. It's more of like a Deadpool kind of feel rather than, actual seriousness.
Well, I think that tone works better when the movie is rated R. Is this rated R?
Yes.
Okay. Because with Aquaman, it didn't work at all.
No.
Aquaman felt like a superhero movie from like the mid-2000s. Just a complete misfire.
Can't wait to talk about.
What was the other one? Like Venom, too.
I want to hear about it.
Venom and Aquaman felt like old-school superhero movies.
Well, they're like
modern-day
Oh,
video
absolutely,
game movies.
yeah.
because they don't have the formula the MCU has, where they're like, oh, the MCU is funny and epic at the same time. Let's try that. But they go so over the top and kind of cringy and hit or miss with their comedy. not all the MCU jokes land, but they really don't have to, where the humor is spaced out enough where you can have the epic moments and not feel like it's conflicting genres or conflicting tone. The MCU just feels very coherent, where these, they battle each other, through, like especially in Venom and in Aquaman. This one seems to have a nice balance, like a nice Ragnarok type. It's ridiculous at times, but it's also fucking awesome at times. I don't think it's going to be as good as Ragnarok, but like 80% is good, and that's going to be, I think that's a win for them.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's always nice going to the movies and not having to put stories together. Those fresh start movies, like it's your first time you're seeing it, so this is where it is right now, you know?
Yeah.
You don't got to worry about what happened before, what happened in comics.
The Genesis story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always
an
love
introduction.
those.
Yeah, me too. And I think it's the easiest story to tell. And
Those always do the best, probably, I'm assuming.
well, it depends. I mean, Wonder Woman, yeah. I think because Wonder Woman had built up such a reputation. I mean, the character's been around for almost a century, and it took so long to get the movie. So I think that's why the box office did so well. But a character like this, I mean, I don't know what the last Hellboy made, but this is a movie where if it gets good reviews, it can be like a Deadpool, make like 400, 500 million. And if it's bad, it's just get a tank.
well, it's coming out in April.
Get a second and third one. And
Ooh,
call
it's
it.
coming out in April.
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Tough, dude. Tough month.
Right before
Early
I think
April?
2 weeks before Infinity War.
Oh, this April 9th, I think?
I thought it was
That's what I saw?
14th. I'm not sure, but it is the first half of April.
That's
Talk
a
about
January movie.
They're
Talk
gonna
about the arrogance, man.
They had
Having
to-
to go up against.
Well,
Wow.
the arrogance, they dropped it. They first of all, they say it was an accidental tweet that sent it out, and then they end up dropping it on Aladdin the same time Aladdin did.
Their timing is really off.
Wait, it came out by an accidental tweet.
Yeah, apparently, who does Lionsgate?
They're going to release it April 21st, Sunday at 9 o'clock to coincide with Season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Who
Oh boy.
is Lionsgate Hellboy? Yeah, apparently they tweeted this trailer by accident, like too early, and then they deleted it, and then it started roaming around, and then they just officially dropped it just today.
That's funny.
You got to move that to March.
You got to move that to January. I don't know why these movies.
yeah, right.
Deadpool was so smart with their movie. Like, this is coming out February 1st, and then we're going to just dominate for the next 3 months.
Well, I like that too. I like.
And then Deadpool 2 fucked up by putting it in May.
It feels like a part of the battle with movies is timing.
I like when directors. And,
Yeah, no, it really is.
Well, I like when studios release their pretty good movies early because they always have the bad rap. Like January and February are terrible months for movies. But
Look what Split did.
Split, Split, and now
Get
Glass coming out. Get Out, and his other film is coming out. I think in February, right?
Yeah,
So
that's the thing. Summer season doesn't exist anymore.
yeah.
It's all year now. You can put
Yeah.
your movie. Star Wars completely shattered that. They said we're dropping this Christmas week, and they made
Deal
like
with it.
$2 billion. Yeah, they're like, go see it, and people will. If the movie's good, they'll see it no matter what month it is. I feel like January's more strategic.
Probably the best time.
Yeah.
If nothing's
Yeah.
if
Start
everything's
the year off. Hell yeah.
everything's
It's
shit
cold.
in January, February, and you get a pretty decent movie, especially with a Get Out, which had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes in February.
It's a staying
And Logan
power.
came out in March.
Yeah, yeah. It's just there's nothing that comes out, so that's what you're going to see if you're going to the movies.
Mhm.
So
It just seems smart too because like we're talking about right now, movies don't drop at the start of the year. So why don't you fucking drop your
yeah,
movie?
I mean, nobody's going to see Hellboy in its third week
Well, even with
No.
Oscar,
with Endgame coming
even with the
out.
Oscar movies in December, there's so many movies coming out that came out this month and are going to come out next week and this weekend. It's like I'm probably going to see them all, but imagine being like a regular person. Oh, I got to pick one of these, and you're
Yeah.
going to miss out on the rest. When it's
A regular person.
when it's fucking a bunch of normies.
looks right at Ted.
When it's January and it's either Glass or some shit horror movie that's getting annihilated by critics, you're going to see Glass no matter what.
Yeah, definitely. So Hellboy, what are you doing? Change your release date. What's our next story here? Is that it? Are we out of stories?
Well, I'm
You want to talk
we got
about Macaulay
something,
Culkin?
I officially changed my focus in life from the Game of Thrones trailer dropping on Christmas Day to trying to get T-Pain on the Thrones podcast.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Because he tweeted he's doing something with Game of Thrones where he's like binging the rest of the show.
Let's get it.
So I tweeted at him like, "Hey, hop on the soup." He didn't respond.
Oh my god, I didn't.
no,
say
no,
that.
but
How did you say that?
I'm making it my life goal. So if you're listening, tweet at T-Pain, come on the soup.
I'm gonna hit at him now.
Yeah, and if he doesn't respond, go call him come on the soup, you coward.
Yeah, and then start calling him out.
Oh, you
Yeah,
got
that's like
auto
we're scared.
So he's like, "Whoa, I'm not a coward."
I got
You got
auto-tune on
auto-tune for
Logic.
him?
Yeah, we can do that. Do a
So-
whole review, just auto-tune, singing it.
Yeah.
Ooh, I can't
I wonder if he'd
believe
come
it.
here.
Game of
Best T-Pain
Thrones,
song.
season 5, episode 4. We're here with Aaron the Monkey
Yeah.
and T-Pain.
Happy boy.
Special guest, T-Pain. How you doing?
Only if we can get Lil Wayne.
I wonder
Do
if
a
he'd
little
come here, though.
T-Wayne reunion.
I'll probably have to
I
be
mean, we had to do it up a little bit, right?
probably be a Skype.
Probably get a chair that's not
Yeah,
broken.
you know. Game of Thrones.
I sit on the floor.
Okay with that.
You hear the lighter in the back?
Lighter flick. Praise roller.
Yeah, you know it.
Well, yeah, we don't really have topics
Melisande,
today.
she a bad.
So
Macaulay Culkin.
he did a
He
commercial.
looks great. I'll tell you what a turnaround.
Did
2
have a
years
Picture of me
ago,
right now?
Did have a glow up. No, I'm looking on my phone.
and he's dating Brenna Song,
Ooh.
Can you animate this?
Who's that?
the Asian girl from the Disney
Yeah, just
Channel.
give me 2 years. Oh, Brenda Song, man. Talk about a comeback. Haven't heard that name since Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Sweet Life on Deck.
That show was
The
dope.
sequel
That was the
series.
sequel.
Who was
the
the-
sequel wasn't as good.
Who was the butler? Muggsy? Is that his name?
Yeah,
Mosby.
Mosby. Damn it.
Didn't he get into like
Mosley
some-
was from Ned's Declassified.
Didn't he get arrested?
Yeah, didn't he?
I think he did something.
Like insider trading or something
I
like
don't
that?
know what he did.
It sounds about right.
Well, no.
You didn't hear? Decapitated, dead. We had a funeral for a bird. Office reference.
Oh,
we-
okay.
Yeah.
And some
Well, birds aren't real, so.
yeah.
The
No.
office is trash.
Come on,
Oh, I
Ted.
saw that.
You heard about that?
Yeah.
What the hell is
There's no
wrong with-
baby. I've never seen a baby bird before. It was a tweet I saw. I've never seen a baby pigeon or some shit.
Twinkle, twinkle.
Yeah, well, since we don't have topics, I asked the fans, the Soupies. We need a better
Super
nickname.
Knights.
The supers.
Not bad.
I like Super Knights.
The super troopers.
The peas.
I once said
The
to you,
Slurpers.
Oh, boy. Guys ready to slurp some soup today? What's up, all you slurpers
Do you
out there?
drink or eat soup?
you eat it.
I think we had this debate.
I forgot what we
You
said.
can do both.
I once sort of
You get the bowl
drink
with the
broth.
straw. Yeah.
Eat noodles. Settled. Done. See ya.
That can be our new slogan.
Eat noodles.
Drink broth, eat noodles.
Get yourself a nice.
Did you get your question
bowl
up yet?
of Nerd
no,
soup.
I'm waiting for
A
you
nice
guys to
show.
stop talking about. Ugh.
Did you see that thing with Lance Stevenson? Sorry to cut you off.
No.
Josh Hart was doing an interview, and he was talking about LeBron. He's like, yeah, we just want the ball in the best player in the world. And you just hear Lance Stevenson in the back go,
What the hell?
kind of like, he was talking about LeBron
Oh,
in that
right,
fashion.
You know who always says that? The PTI guys. There was like, here's your boy that you're always slurping.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Tony Kornheiser says that?
I love those two guys.
You said on one of the Game of Thrones that I was slurping Littlefinger.
You do be slurping Littlefinger. Now you slurp Cersei.
Heavy.
Yeah.
Heavy.
You cut
Good job,
back.
yo.
Upgraded.
Um,
All right, I got a good one here. We got debate topics.
Yeah,
From Christian
get it.
Eulenberg.
Oh, I like him.
Number 1, J.R.R. Tolkien versus George R.R. Martin. World builder. Who did it better?
That's tough.
George.
That's tough, man.
well, I feel like since it's a debate, I'll pick a side. I'll pick Lord of the Rings, and you pick Game of Thrones.
I was going to pick Lord of the Rings.
Oh, okay.
No,
picked
but I'll
Thrones.
just go Game of Thrones because you know more about Lord of the Rings than I do.
That's true.
I don't know. It's not something that I'm passionately going to debate because they both did such a great job. But I think Tolkien just had some advantages of being just a linguist. He was able to craft his own languages. He did it first. He created all these different worlds and races and beings. I think George's world is a bit more clever, but just the totality of the Lord of the Rings universe is kind of overwhelming.
You think movies and TV shows play difference in how they have to world build?
Well, yeah,
like,
of course.
Like George had, I think George had a bigger advantage having 6, 7, 8 seasons. Like it's a long time to
the
build a
books came
universe.
first.
Yeah. Well, it's still the same thing.
Yeah, but
All right.
no, I'm talking in general.
I mean, George had 5 books, right? Tolkien had 3. Well, all 1, 3 parts, but and the Hobbit series. But I think it was easier for. Where's he going?
Nash just got a terrible cramp right now. He just walked out.
Is this mine?
No. I fucking hate you.
It gets hot, man.
Well, it seems like even though you said you were gonna do George, you kind of did Tolkien. So I'll do George.
I like the Game of Thrones universe more.
Yeah, I think it's more grounded, and especially with the history that he's able to intertwine with the story while you're reading it is fantastic. Like he goes like all the history in his books, and you go back and you're reading Fire and Blood, and you're reading the World of Ice and Fire. The amount of time and effort and attention to detail this guy put into his work is incredible.
I'm convinced he's not doing it alone. I think he's just got an army of people.
Well, I think he has help.
Too tough.
Westeros.org helps him a lot with a lot
Yeah,
of,
but
like,
even from the beginning, man, the things that he set up in that first book that come into play later, I mean, the theories, the little hints, the cryptic messages, the guy is just an absolute genius.
Yeah.
A genius literary mind. And Tolkien, too. I mean, he always gives credit to Tolkien.
Now, I always have this argument with people, myself mostly.
Game of Thrones ruining Lord of the Rings for them?
No.
I've seen that a lot, too, though.
Well, it's like just because you've done it first, like Tolkien, doesn't mean you're the best necessarily.
No, it's like saying the Wright brothers built the best plane. You know? No, they didn't. I mean, they were influential.
They got the ball rolling.
Well, that's like I had the
Citizen
argument with my
Kane,
stepdad.
right?
He's like, he's a big Elvis guy. I'm like, well, and he thinks he's the best. I'm like, well, just because he was like one of the first
he is the best.
doesn't mean he's the best.
No, I mean,
Hips
John
out of
Lennon
control,
said,
man.
Who?
Elvis's hips. His
Man, yeah.
Shakira. You think your hips don't lie?
Well, Elvis did it first. John Lennon always said if there wasn't Elvis, there would be no Beatles. Some cases, yeah, it rings true.
That's more paying homage, though.
Right, like
Yeah.
we always have this argument about Citizen Kane. I feel like we say it once every 2 weeks. Most influential, not the best. But Tolkien still has a case. Like, Tolkien's got a strong case. But I hear a lot of people say that they can't watch Lord of the Rings anymore because Game of Thrones is so grounded and so much more complex. It's that they can't watch Lord of the Rings anymore, which I think is ridiculous because it's just Lord of the Rings is what it is. You can prefer Westeros and A Song of Ice and Fire, but I can still appreciate. I mean, I just watched them the other day. It's just an incredible fantasy adventure.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I
Best
wonder what he
trilogy
could
of
have
all
done
time.
with like 8 seasons.
Well, we are getting a Lord of the Rings series on Amazon. Can't wait for that. So,
Hell yeah.
all right, go to the next one, and this one is I feel like I'm going to debate this guy. It's Louis Benitez Jr. He says Roma was actually a slow movie with 3, maybe 4 impactful scenes.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Roma. It was a slow build.
But I
It
feel
was
like-
a build up, and then there was an emotional explosion at the end.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. But I feel like he's saying it in a negative way that the movie wasn't good because of these reasons.
Right. Probably didn't work for him. But for me, it's because you get all that build up, all those smaller, quieter moments. Just watching this family, the deterioration of a upper middle class family told through the perspective of their maid. And that's what Alfonso Cuarón does so well. It's always the backdrop of Mexican culture when we see all the riots going on, all the political turmoil, the problems with the cartel. And then we have this grounded family. And then the emotional payoff at the end, to me, I mean, that final scene.
Well, it's just so
I gotta
authentic.
see that.
It was so authentic.
No movie hits
yeah.
harder in 2000. It's not the best movie for me, but no movie has hit harder than Roma.
It's so authentic too. It didn't need anything no action. It didn't need any of that. It was just a glimpse, like you said, of this family and so many underlying themes in the movie. And the camera work was fantastic. It was just like you were in the room, but you could feel like you can reach out and touch them, and you were there, but you couldn't. And it was like a fly on the wall experience where you're kind of just viewing them from the outside, and it was mesmerizing at times.
Yeah, his camera always feels like he's spying on
Yeah.
the subjects in his
Oh my
movie. It's
God.
always looking for something within the frame.
All the
It's-
pans and the
Yeah.
I was gonna say, did you feel uncomfortable watching it? Like watching that happen?
No, it's always with the Mexican triumvirate where, like in the middle of the movie, I'm thinking, I think the whole movie has just been one take.
yeah.
One
'cause,
scene?
Yeah, they're the masters of that. I mean,
think-
Revenant, Birdman.
Was that you, Nash? I was trying to explain this movie to on Sunday when we were watching football.
Yeah.
And I explained what you said. It was kind of like the viewing this family through the eyes of their maid. And you're like, oh, that sounds awful. And I'm thinking about it like, yeah, that movie, the story, there's not really much there, but there's so much there.
I kind of want to see it just so I can relate to it. 'Cause it sounds like I
The
can
way
relate
he
to that.
explained it, I was just like, I don't want to watch that.
Yeah, it's not a movie it's not a traditional plot. It's kind of just a moment in time for this woman, probably the hardest point of her life. And this family, it's really a movie about change. And without spoiling anything, just the way that their relationships are evolving or breaking down or deteriorating. It's a movie that hits you on an emotional level. You're not going there for plot. You're going there for character.
See how they react to these situations.
Right. He said it's autobiographical, that 90% of the movie was plucked from his life. So it's an experience that, unless you're from Mexico during that time, That's why I think there's movies like I had an argument about mid-90s with somebody, and he just found it to be awful. But I'm like, I knew those kids in mid-90s. I wasn't one of them, but I know that story. I've seen that play out. So sometimes you just have to put yourself in another person's shoes.
Well, that's
and
where
let the
Jonah
story
Hill was
wash
going.
over you. Yeah.
Like that's why he did it, to show, just so people can relate to it.
All right, here's another one. It was from Old Kim's. She says top 3 to 5 past comedy movies that wouldn't be accepted if made in 2018. Example: Tropic Thunder. Now,
Yeah, it would.
Tropic Thunder was controversial when it came out.
Yeah, but this kind of use this to lead into another thing. I was watching a YouTube video where where they get like kids react, and it's like kids react to Drake or whatever or something old. They did one with Seinfeld, and these kids were just fucking like I guess like high school young college students were just appalled by it, just
Like,
saying
didn't
how
like it?
well how it doesn't translate to today, just how some of like the jokes and themes like don't land or like problematic. And a YouTube channel I like, H3H3. He did a reaction, and he's a huge Seinfeld guy, and it's a pretty funny one. You should check it out. And he just rips these fucking kids apart. Like they're explaining like how, remember the episode when Jerry is over the girl's house and he wants to play with her toys?
Yeah.
And he goes into the bathroom
Yeah.
and tries to like drug her to go to sleep. And like the kids are like, oh my God, this is so like problematic today with everything going on, which I guess is a point. But like
that one maybe.
that's
not
the
all
joke.
of them.
But that's the joke, and everything he's like screaming in the background. I was like, "That's the joke!" And he did that, especially with like when the lady's eavesdropping, and
Oh my God, yeah. He says
on a
he's
lady,
gay.
and it says he's gay. Like not that there's anything wrong with that, and everyone was saying how that wouldn't translate to today, and I think that's completely false. Because look at Curb, look at Always Sunny, they're all jokes.
Always Sunny is
10
pretty
times
fucking
worse.
vulgar, dude.
Yeah.
Like they cross some boundaries that I can't believe they even try to.
I know, but I was just
With
watching.
Mac
I was just
and the
watching
bike.
these
Are you
kids
kidding me?
tear apart Seinfeld. I'm like, I hate all of you
I
guys.
think people are overreacting to how PC society is. I don't think it's as PC as people make it out to be. Because we see R-rated comedies come out all the time, and they're as dark as you can get. When you're in a movie theater, nobody's worried about how PC you can be.
You know what it is? I feel like Twitter makes PC look so much worse than what it is.
Well, it's the prime example is the Baby It's Cold Outside. I haven't seen
I hate
one
that.
person complain about that song. Yet I'm seeing all these articles about people. Where are these people?
It's
Well,
one.
I
It's
haven't
one
counted-
person, and then it just blows up because of social media. That's all
exposure,
it is.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like this so-and-so thinks this is problematic. And then I just hear people complaining about why it's not problematic.
And then TMZ shows it, and then the whole world sees it.
And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
And Santa Claus.
Right,
Yeah.
and then everybody becomes so self-righteous that we're going to play Baby It's Cold Outside for 10 hours straight.
Yeah, that's another like, all right, guy, relax.
What was another
Cool.
one? They said Home Alone is what we got is like PC, I guess, like because the parents leave the kid home twice.
Well, just terrible parenting.
Like yeah, exactly.
But
How you leave your kid home?
no,
but,
it's
but
like,
for comedies, they say like Blazing Saddles wouldn't work today.
yeah, it's hard though because I agree with a lot of the stuff people talk about, but sometimes it takes it a little too
Well, would
far.
Tropic Thunder work today?
I think so.
Probably not.
The blackface, maybe not.
No,
but
I think, but the blackface is clever
that was
because,
just so funny, man.
Well, Mac-
but it's a
God.
commentary on how when blackface was used earlier in the 40s and the 50s, it was to mock African Americans. The difference is that Robert Downey Jr. is the coolest character in the movie, and all the other supporting characters are very offended by it. They're appalled by it.
Well, Always Sunny does it too when they're trying to remake Lethal Weapon,
Yeah,
Oh my God, man.
and Mac
they
wants
changed midway.
Mac wants to do blackface for it to be authentic, and they're just arguing how the difference is like how it's like, oh, it'd be racist if I did it in whiteface. That'd be disrespectful. and Always Sunny is very like self-aware too. Like they do it's like kind of like South Park. Like they'll do something that's like not PC yet, but to prove a larger point, and basically is in support of not doing blackface. So it's if you do it clever and if you do it right and it's funny, then it's okay. But if it's in bad taste, then if it's
That's always the question. Is it funny?
I was
Yeah.
just gonna. I feel like that's what determines if it's PC or not. Is if the jokes make sense.
Well, I think people get mad either way, too. Some people, people are always going to be upset, but that's nothing new, man.
Yeah,
We
you're
talk
not gonna-
about, there was a time when a man and a woman couldn't sleep in the same bed on television. So don't tell me that we're more PC than that generation. I mean, I Love Lucy, you never saw them kiss, you never saw them in the bed together.
I just watched that the other day, actually,
And now people are getting banged all over the place.
on air.
Yeah, on air.
Like,
Nice.
Live.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, also to agree with what you said, I can't really think of a movie that wouldn't work right now.
Oh, there are plenty.
You
There
think?
are lots.
I can't even think
I'm
of
drawing
one.
a blank right now. Airplane.
Air.
Inglorious Bastards work, and that's a comedy.
Yeah, but I'm like the joke in Hangover when he's like paging Doctor.
Yeah.
That's a joke. People like it was really clever. And
That's not clever or really that funny.
That's
It was
just
funny.
funny.
It was funny when we were like in middle school and like people were saying it in the hallway to their friends, not knowing what that meant. And yeah, that's totally different.
right.
I don't think that would work. I don't even think that worked then.
Well, when 22 Jump Street, when Channing Tatum found out how offensive that word was,
Yeah.
that was really funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really think of any off the top of my head.
I think if your joke lands, you're okay. So have some good jokes if you're gonna do it.
All right, this next one here from Evan at Bob Evans.
Or just point at me.
I was
Okay.
pointing at my phone.
Oh.
Rank Tarantino movies.
Sheesh.
Pulp Fiction.
Number 1.
Yeah.
Well,
Django.
what's all your favorite?
Inglorious Bastards.
Reservoir Dogs.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Pulp Fiction.
I'm gonna go Death.
Django.
Death
Django's
House.
up there though too. And so was what's the
Django's good,
8
too.
with the
Yours
was
is
it?
not. Yours isn't Django.
No, it's Django.
Okay. I was guessing for you.
If I had to
Wait, well,
rank them right now, Django,
What the hell was the movie when they're out in the snow?
Hateful Eight.
Yeah,
That's
that
my
was a
number
good one.
2, actually. I love Hateful Eight.
Samuel killed that.
Django, Hateful Eight, Inglorious, Jackie Brown, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir, Kill Bill 1, 2. What's that terrible one he made with Kurt Russell? Death something? Death Trap, Death House?
Death Machina.
I don't know. Death Machina. And does he have any others?
I
Probably.
think you named them all.
Yeah.
I
At
think
least the good ones.
Top 5, I'll go Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Kill Bill Volume 2, Django, and Glorious Bastards.
Django.
You know what's crazy about I lost my train. Oh. All of his
back.
movies are the same,
Yes,
but they're not. It's like
kinda.
it's perfect.
My man can't end a movie.
That's how you know he's so good.
He cannot end a movie. He's like third act, kill everyone. Just fuck it, kill them all. Explosions. Like, it's
Well,
like
no,
The
courtroom
best part is
drama,
he's
Quentin.
involved in it too.
Oh,
like he's
yeah,
the one
always
getting
gotta put
killed
himself.
during it too.
Yeah.
He'll have a great third act, but it just he'll only like Inglorious Bastards, great third act, and it's kind of like, all right, well,
You're gonna end it or
Time to
no?
blow up everything.
I guess yeah.
Django. It's like, what time? Oh, we're about 2 hours, 45 minutes in. Yep, kill everybody. The only great I love Tarantino. Pulp Fiction's the best ending.
Yeah.
That to me, when I first saw that, my brain turned into a pretzel. And Jackie Brown, the ending is great. Hateful Eight's good ending too. Well, that whole movie is like a Tarantino third act.
Well, would
That
you
was
rather
a-
have? It's another question
It was a
from
lengthy movie though.
Michael Ventura. Would
Long-ass
you rather?
fucking movie?
Would you rather see a Quentin Tarantino Star Trek film or a David Lynch Star Wars film?
Tarantino Star
Yeah,
Trek.
Tarantino.
Lynch
Easy.
Star Wars.
Oh, that'd be dope though. Trip.
David Lynch Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, you know he was asked to do Return of the Jedi, and he was like, "What is this?"
Really?
Yeah. That's just not him.
Yeah.
He tried to do Dune.
Well, if I'm not
And he
mistaken,
failed.
you said on The Last Jedi that you liked when Rey was when she went into the darkness. And
It was
having that-
Lynchian.
Yeah, it was very surrealist, and I think that would be cool to explore more of that.
Probably
Yeah,
worst
but then
part
the
of movie.
Ewoks, like, they'd be like floating and walking up walls and speaking backwards. They'd go,
A whole, like giant acid trip in Star Wars.
yeah, I mean,
Especially with space too. You'd just be
right.
losing.
I'd rather see Tarantino's Star Wars than a Lynch one.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
think
like a
he's
7-hour
perfect for
movie.
Star Trek. Right. Hey, Star Wars always ends with explosions and battles, so it's right up his alley.
Yeah, but I feel like his explosions are just gonna be all red. Like everything's gonna be the
And everybody's good. It's got to be R-rated.
yeah.
Bradley Morgan had Littlefinger versus the Spider. Who played the better game? I got news for you, Bradley. We already got a video on Nerd Soup on
Send
the
a link.
channel.
I got one here that's good. Rucky Digital at Rucky Digital. Greater impact player, Kobe or Duncan?
Duncan.
What does he mean by impact?
Duncan's more of a team player. He helps the team out tenfold. I mean, Kobe, I get it. You're a tremendous scorer, but
God.
Duncan helps the entire
I
team
can't
out.
put Duncan over Kobe, man.
I can't do that either.
Kobe's-
Can't do it.
Why is Kobe so slept on these days? Like, my man's not top 10, arguably top 5.
Arguably top 5. He's definitely in top 10.
Tim Duncan's the best power forward of all time.
Kobe's, what, the second best shooting guard of all time?
Third,
Behind who?
Dwayne Wade.
Oh God.
You're not serious, right? Okay.
I
I thought you were I think gonna he say, was. But then
I thought
once
you were gonna
got that
say
negative
AI.
reaction,
I would have gave it maybe a strong argument for AI.
Dwayne Wade's better than AI. Get the fuck out of here.
Thank you. I had this argument the other day. I think Wade's better than AI.
I love
AI
Wade.
was
Yeah.
a chucker, man.
We talked about this too. I like Wade. I think of it, I'm thinking of a more of an entertainment aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, AI would
Most influential player of all time.
right.
Well, I'd rather have Tim Duncan on my team just to
Exactly.
to start a team. But
He's a more
impact,
impact player.
But no, when impact is like
Like culture.
He opens the floor. Oh no, I guess he doesn't really open
No,
the
but
floor.
Kobe. I mean, how many game winners has he hit? Clutch shots.
But when I think
How many times
impact,
Kobe broke my heart?
Yeah.
When I was just rooting against him because I didn't like him.
when I
I think
think
LeBron though.
when I think impact, I think of someone that's going to come on the court and can just fucking take over and do what he wants. You know, that's not Tim Duncan. Tim Duncan's going to give you 24 and 12, right, and play great defense and make all the team plays. But Kobe, any day of the week, can just go bananas and fucking go out of his mind and drop 50 and take over a game, and he'll will you to victory. So
I wish there was stats
different
on if
styles.
like Kobe like ruined the game. Like if like how many shots he took like ruined the team's
Well, I think
game,
that was
chances
his
to win.
weakness. I think Kobe was a product of his era. Well, not really a product of his era. Kobe was just he was his own worst enemy.
I was listening to a podcast and Big Cat asked him, "He's like, ever see a triple team that you didn't like?" he got mad. You
That
could
was the
tell.
one with A-Rod.
Yeah.
Well, they asked him too. They were like, "Do you regret being a terrible teammate?" And
I said that to him.
he's like, "Listen, I demand excellence out of my teammates, and when we won, we became friends. Not a second before." He's like, "Are you still friends with Smush Parker?" He's like, "Hell no."
There was a story that Luke Walton said that he went out one night and Kobe
Oh, yeah, I
Kobe
heard
saw
this.
that he was hungover and everything. He's like, "Your ass is guarding me." And Luke Walton said he was just puking at the end of practice, like absolutely worked his ass.
Well, no, I also saw an interview when Kobe was like, the younger kids asked him to go out, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll go out, but we're gonna be in the gym at like 5 a.m."
Yeah.
And then he made him go to the gym at 5 in the morning, and the kids were throwing up.
Dude, the craziest Kobe story I've ever heard was when it was 2008 for the Olympic team, and he had called up his trainer and was like, "Yo, I just got done working out. You want to come through and get some shots up?" And it's like 3 a.m. And he goes to the gym. It's 4 a.m. and they work out for 2 hours. And he's like, "All right, you gonna try to sleep before practice, Kobe?" And Kobe's like, "No, I'm gonna hit the weight room." So he lifts weights from like 6 to 8, and then 8 o'clock was their practice. The guy didn't sleep before they had a Team USA practice. Like, he ended his night with workouts at like 3 a.m., lifts weights, and then practices. The guy, I mean,
They're different breeds.
no, he's
Like,
like
he's a different breed,
yeah.
but
he's like
athletes are also different
semi-autistic,
breeds.
Kobe Bryant. He was out of his
Yeah,
mind.
you have to be a little
Yeah.
like sick in the head to be
Yeah.
able to play a professional sport at that level.
And to that degree, I mean, the guy was...
Yeah, he has the 666 workout. It's 6 hours a day, 6 days a week for 6 months straight. He does that.
I'm surprised it's not 777.
Yeah, right?
No,
No,
more like 15, 7.
Yeah, and then when you compare like Kobe
7.
and LeBron, it's LeBron just has God-given gifts that made him destined to be a better player. But you could make the argument that Kobe might be slightly more skilled because of all the work that he put in the after hours. I mean, LeBron's a great worker too, but not like Kobe.
No. I'll do some quick hits and we'll get into some Aquaman. I feel like we're running a little long. Rank every.
What's that?
Axel
Feeling
says.
good right now.
All right, yeah.
All right, man. I see you shaking your shoulders though.
Axel X, rank
ready
every
for the
Spider-Man
quick hits.
movie made and talk about. We'll just say what's better for us that we've seen
Homecoming,
Spider-Verse.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Homecoming number
Spider-Man
one?
2,
Really?
Spider-Man 3, The Two Amazings.
Ooh, so you already had your list. You were thinking
Yeah,
about
but
this.
All day.
You put Garfield's down that far?
They were
They're-
terrible.
Yeah, they're the two bottom feeders.
I was just gonna
I
ask-
didn't mind them.
I was just gonna ask Homecoming or Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
I had so much fun in that movie.
Spider-Verse was fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
Spider-Verse is better. Yeah.
What's your favorite Spider-Man, Nash?
The first one with Tobey Maguire.
I
pick.
could see you as a Tobey Maguire guy.
Yeah,
Alright.
Huge Tobey Maguire guy.
Don't trigger
Got
meme.
a Seabiscuit poster in your room.
Yeah.
Don't trigger meme X. Annihilation was a poor man's arrival. Interstellar. It created a beautiful, mysterious world, but scrambled to find M. Night Shyamalan twist. It ultimately ended on a lackluster note. 6 out of 10. That hurts me. That I feel like that's directed.
Well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Yeah. I don't know. We both loved Annihilation. I thought it was a masterful piece of science fiction. I love Alex Garland.
Keep going. Yeah, keep going.
Oh, you got to feed you back up?
No, I'm hyping you up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought it looked phenomenal. Great performances. It built intrigue, and I just thought it was a beautiful film. And science fiction is my favorite genre. So
Wah, 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 wah.
what's that? Oh, okay.
That's the music.
All right. Do you want to chime in?
Annihilation's my third best movie of the year. So you're wrong. Just kidding. No,
Everyone has an
I
opinion.
love Interstellar and Arrival too. I mean,
Interstellar was
better
Arrival.
movie though. Arrival
Arrival.
or Annihilation.
Arrival. I love
Yeah,
Arrival.
Arrival's better.
And-
Arrival's so good.
It's just Amy Adams, so I'll pick any movie.
But Annihilation's
She
better
didn't
than
know her.
Interstellar.
Yes.
Oh,
They're all
her.
great though. What a triple feature.
She isn't her. Yeah.
Her.
That's your favorite movie.
It's a great movie. I actually
Right
watched
next
it the
to
other night.
Seabiscuit poster.
Yeah.
Her is a good movie, man.
Star-studded cast.
Yeah, it is.
It really is.
I love that boy.
Count
Joaquin.
Dracula, top 10 movies of the year. We'll be releasing that soon. Jordan Hamilton, Goodfellas versus Godfather. Do you want to go?
Godfather.
Cracks the neck.
Do you want to, or do
No,
you want to move on?
I mean,
I'm
Godfather.
Goodfellas. He's Godfather. Teddy.
Godfather.
Goodfellas.
Me and Nash.
Ed?
Oh, so you guys want the 2-on-2 smash? Me and Teddy, me and Nash, gonna 2-on-2 you Goodfellas.
I don't need Teddy, but
Yeah,
I'll take
we're
that.
gonna-
I'll take him.
You're like Durant coming in the Warriors.
Yeah.
So we won without you. I
And-
got one here from Kate that says top 10 best performances of the year. You
Okay.
ready? You want to do that? Just reel off some of our favorites.
Right off the top, Emma Stone, Rachel Weisz, Olivia
Colman.
Colman.
Yeah, Coleman. Well, I'm thinking Toni Collette too from Hereditary.
Yes.
There's 4 out of the 10. Lakeith Stanfield and Sorry to Bother You.
Great. John David Washington, Black Klansman. Adam Driver, Black Klansman.
Yes.
Bradley Cooper, Star Wars Born. Lady Gaga, Star Wars Born.
You know who I like too? Tessa Thompson in Annihilation. What are my other top 10s? Oh, Josh Brolin as Thanos.
Damn it. Well, I wanted to say that.
Steve Buscemi in Death of Stalin was really good.
Yeah.
Um,
Melissa McCarthy and Can You Ever Forgive Me? Fantastic.
really, the women performances this year.
That's-
yeah.
That's astonishing. Most of my top 5 is pretty much all led by females. It's just a great year for them. I mean, most of the performances and most
Oh,
of the
Rami
movies.
Malek.
Yeah, great. Keira Knightley too, and Colette. No one saw it except for me and the old people sitting next to me, but we enjoyed it.
I didn't see it either.
We really liked it. Steve Carell and Timothy Chalamet in Beautiful Boy, both very good. And yeah, it's pretty
Tom
much.
Cruise, Mission Impossible.
Boy Erased too. Lucas Hedges, fantastic. So we got performances, and I liked one for you because I know Kate Blanchett is your favorite. Caitlin Foster X, debate the best Kate Blanchett performance.
It's Carol
Carol,
or The
I had
Aviator.
I had Blue
Or
Jasmine.
Blue Jasmine.
Yeah,
The best living actor.
Who?
Kate Blanchett.
I know that's your favorite, so I
That
liked
is
it.
my girl, man.
I liked it for you, and I thought I'd give you a little treat. I thought you were gonna say Blue Jasmine, but Carol's good.
Carol's good. It's just, Blue Jasmine, I mean, Woody Allen's script. So you're always going to he gets the most out of his actors.
You hear about him?
Yeah,
I saw such a funny fucking tweet, man. It was like Woody Allen has made 155 movies about a pedophile. I'm starting to think that there's something up with this guy.
Autobiographies, kind of.
I always feel like a little weird when I like a Woody Allen movie.
Even saying his name, I looked around.
Yeah,
Woody Allen.
it's like Blue Jasmine, Kate
You hear about
Blanchett,
him?
fantastic.
Can't say his name.
I can't say.
Who did that movie again? Woody Allen. Not good.
I'm convinced he can play any kind of character.
Woody.
Who?
No, Woody Harrelson, not Woody Allen. I heard Woody, and then I jumped
Wait,
off-
don't publish
jumped the
the
gun.
funniest Nerd Soup moments yet.
God.
Woody Harrelson is a great actor.
He can play any character.
He's good. I like Woody.
Yeah, he was great in anger management.
Is he in that?
Yeah,
He is.
he's like the male prostitute, like the
my God,
transvestite
he is.
prostitute. I
Oh,
feel
man.
like dancing.
Woody.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't work today.
I don't think Adam Sandler's movies worked back then either.
No.
It wasn't the offensive nature. It was just
Oh, shut up.
It's the comedy.
Why he's such a big Adam Sandler fan?
Adam Sandler.
Adam Stanley.
Adam Sandler.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I heard
Stan.
his new stand-up was good.
Yeah, I'm not getting into it. I watched it.
You seem embarrassed.
I am.
All right, so Aquaman.
Yeah, I'll talk Aquaman.
What a piece of shit.
Speaking of best performances,
What?
that was Momoa.
Well, we'll do. It doesn't come out until Friday,
Your
so
boy
we'll do,
Steven Adams.
we'll do non-spoiler.
Adams, yeah.
We'll do non-spoiler for Aquaman, and we do spoilers for. The movie didn't fucking come out
Oh,
yet.
like we don't know what's gonna happen in Aquaman.
I'm just have some decorum for your
He's
fans.
saving the people.
Yeah,
Fish. This
And
movie
the
made me
fish.
want to go to Jones Beach and just litter. I'm like, you don't deserve this. I'm gonna throw the.
Was that
fucking-
bad?
You know those things that hold the Pepsis together?
Yeah.
He's gonna throw them like I was in a strip club. No, it was
Well, none of the big plot points. Don't spoil like it's.
right.
Come on,
Jason Momoa plays Aquaman poorly.
the movie. Everyone seems to like it.
I was just gonna. How did it get such good reviews if it was this bad?
because it. I have no idea.
Like-
I really have no idea. This movie was
This thing slipped through the cracks.
nothing
It's
enjoyable
always
about it.
Yeah, it's rare. It's
Halloween.
got like 68% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Halloween got a good score on Rotten Tomatoes too. We didn't like that.
How was Black Manta?
Yeah, but Aquaman was offensively bad. Aquaman was exhausting. I checked my watch. I told this to people. I'm so dramatic. I checked it twice.
I went to the bathroom.
We did a watch check.
Do-
You?
Me. I did a
Wow.
watch check. I never watch check.
You're usually
boy.
pretty disciplined in the
Oh
movies.
boy,
Out of all the
it's that bad, huh?
2 watch checks.
out of all the years we've been to the movies, have you ever seen me go to the bathroom?
Not once.
You
I
went
had-
to the.
Once
That's
to the
worse than
bathroom.
the watch
yeah.
check.
I was like, I really had to go, and I usually hold it in. I'm really good. I'm like, you know what? I don't think I have to hold this because I don't care what happens next.
No, you always look down on the guys that go fucking get the popcorn like 10 minutes into the movie.
Oh yeah, they
Like,
come
really? You couldn't-
scrambling in.
Yeah.
Where's our seat? And they're shining their phone. Well, we got F10. The theater's
Yeah.
empty. Pick any seat. It was yeah. I mean,
How was the villain? Black Manta.
Black Manta.
Black Manta's
and
the worst
Ocean
part of the
Master.
movie.
Yeah,
Even though the costume, I love the costume. It looks so ridiculous. It looks like an anime character.
very one-dimensional.
The writing for Black Manta was so bad.
The dialogue was fucking terrible. They
There
three
were
times
three times.
when a character was like, "No, call me," and then said their name. Like, "No, call me Black Manta."
It's like, oh, you're the
It's like, no,
the
I'm
pirate?
Ocean Master.
Yeah, no,
Like-
just call me Black Manta.
It was.
Why didn't they have
They
the
were
dirty bubble?
Freeze frame.
The dirty bubble would have been a great villain.
That would have been perfect. Who's the other guy? Man Ray?
Yeah, man.
Ma-
Ray.
ma- 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 ma-
Get evil in there.
Who?
Evil.
Evil.
Black Manta was a mean guy, revenge getter. Ocean Master was prickman,
Prickman.
politician guy.
Prickman. Revenge getter.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's very dimensional character and villains. They had no depth to them.
Aquaman was Broseph Stalin. Just not even Aquaman. Just surfer bro
Did this
running around.
movie?
Potato
It seemed
chip?
like from the I didn't see it yet. From the trailers, it looked like he didn't want his powers or he wasn't acknowledging who he was, and then he had to like try and figure out like realize that he's Aquaman. And he has to be doing this. Is it like
Wow,
something like that?
superhero trying to find himself. I've
Yeah, exactly.
never seen that happen before.
Yeah, is that how it was?
Yeah, it was very, very hit every single note every superhero movie has ever hit. Very predictable, awkward dialogue. The scenes transitions are very awkward too. It's just like it felt so out of place and jumbled up. There was no chemistry with the cast, and the comedy was terrible. It didn't know what it wanted to be, an awful comedy or a lackluster action film. And these styles just clashed, and it was just hard to invest your time, invest yourself into it because one moment it's not taking itself seriously, like we were talking about like with Ragnarok before, where the comedy like kind of fit and it didn't take away and it didn't clash. It's tried to be an epic action movie and a slapstick comedy, and it was just a mess.
I couldn't believe how mediocre all the actors were too.
There was no chemistry, and the writing was terrible.
Some good actors. Yeah. Mostly the writing. I mean, Jason Momoa to me is a serviceable actor. He's not particularly great, but
a
he's
role
not
player.
bad. Amber Heard is a bad actress.
And I liked his like little
Willem
like,
Dafoe was bad in this. Patrick Wilson is
Good
bad in
actors
this.
were bad.
Right there, yeah.
and I liked his little like.
You know who
quips.
was the best? Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah, he was.
Dolph Lundgren was in this.
Yeah. He plays like one of the kings of
But-
the
Let's
opposing
go.
kingdoms. Yeah.
And not only did they do every like cliche trope, they did it
king is
multiple
risen.
fucking times. Like in the first sequence, the beginning was terrible too. I knew right from the get go.
I kind of want to see it because of how bad.
But
You gotta say it
but the
is.
beginning,
I bet I'll like it too.
he does the thing where like a normal person punches him, and because he's Aquaman, it doesn't hurt him.
Yeah.
That happened 3 fucking times in the first action sequence.
There were 4 times where characters were talking, and before they could finish their sentence, an explosion went off. 4 times it happened.
I
It's
gotta
like they're
see
having
this.
a conversation, they stopped. Boom.
Yeah. It
So
was
the-
kind of like The Room
They
of
did
superhero movies.
They did the
Oh my
thing.
God.
They did the thing where you open a door, like you're waiting, like the bad guys took over the ship, right? So you're all the crew members are huddled into a room,
Mind if I come aboard?
and they're that was awful. And they're waiting to see, like, oh no, the bad guy's coming. They open the door, and it's the bad guy, but then he falls down because Aquaman's behind him, right?
Yeah, Weekend at Bernie's.
They did that.
They hit, like you said,
It's me. It's Aquaman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they hit every point that a superhero movie needs. It was so fucking
the
bad.
score was
Yes,
fucking
yeah.
god awful. Talk
Dude,
about
the Pitbull.
the soundtrack.
Africa.
They had
Have
fucking.
you guys heard about this? Pitbull did a cover of Africa.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
Why
boy.
the fuck was that in your movie?
why would they pick Pitbull?
MCU, Immigrant Song, fucking Rubber Band Man, Hooked on a Feeling, DCEU. It's a perfect fucking.
Pitbull did all that.
And yeah, they got fucking Pitbull doing a cover of Africa. If that's not a
Like
perfect
the
comparison,
redheaded stepchild kind of thing.
Marvel,
Like
I'll do a little
DC is the
SpongeBob
black.
meme, Krusty Krab, Marvel,
I'm saying the
Chum
wrong thing.
Bucket, DCEU.
Yeah, there you go. There it is.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's what I was going for.
I even saw in the trailer too. He's like, "Oh, what are you, the fish man or the fish boy?"
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
Fish man.
Fish man.
oh.
That was actually the best scene in the movie.
There was one where they're like,
It's like these tough guys come up to him at the bar and they're like, "What are you, the fish boy?" And he's like, "Well, can I have an autograph?" And then they like all get drunk together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. It was
Oh,
like
I thought there was gonna be a fight.
that was the one subversion that they did, where it's here's the typical the superhero has to
Superman
beat up
did it.
people. Right. It always happens.
Oh, I fell for that pump fake. I thought that was gonna be.
That
a
was
huge
actually
brawl,
really
yeah.
funny. Yeah.
From what you guys are saying right now, it seems like Aquaman's gonna be bye-bye in the DC universe after Flashpoint.
Well, somebody was like,
At
People
this
like it.
Flashpoint.
well, it hasn't come out yet,
Mhm.
so it depends on how much money it makes.
It's I honestly since
it's killing in China.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably gonna do great because of all the reviews that's
Yeah.
getting right now, and because it's Aquaman. But
And they already said that they're going forward with the sequel.
I mean, there's some fun. Like some of the action sequences are pretty cool. The underwater looked pretty damn good. All that kind of stuff. And I like the concept, right? Having like this political struggle and like this massive, epic, feudal, futuristic underground, underwater kingdoms. But they kind of just fly by that, and like the exposition is just very like they say it, and that's it. There's nothing surrounding it to help build it.
It felt like a video game.
They
Like,
didn't
this
build
is your
the-
next task.
They didn't build the world. They just like they talked about it in passing, and that was supposed to be like, oh, okay, this is what's happening.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they did nothing to build on that. Where it could have been like an epic like political drama mixed with a superhero movie, something new, but they kind of just played it very safe. And
I know with these movies that you have to go big. This movie should have been small.
Yeah.
This should have been focused on the relationship between the mother and the father and the implication of having a son that's of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. They didn't focus on that at all.
I think that would work if there was gonna be another one. You said that there is gonna be a sequel, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
So-
We'll see.
They had the opportunity to go practical, like on all the. Are you right?
Well, visually, I thought it looked really good.
But but underwater. But they had the opportunity to go practical on all the land scenes, but they chose to make it look very, all the colors, and it didn't feel real.
No, it
You
didn't.
had beautiful landscape, these beachfront set pieces, and it still looked like very CGI, and
It didn't have a warm visual feel to it when
No.
it wasn't underwater.
Let me tell you. Let me play devil's advocate. They are fish, so the land might look a little different, and that maybe that's the perspective that they're trying to give you.
You know what? I didn't think of it like
they had
that.
like a
know?
they had like a montage when they're like,
I don't think the
He's
director
reaching
thought
right
of it
now.
like that.
No, he didn't think
He's
of it
reaching
that way.
right
Your
He's like,
Honor?
yeah.
Your
No,
Honor?
I thought that. Yeah.
not a montage.
Yeah, that's what I was going
That's
for.
what I was doing. Sure.
not a montage. There was a sequence.
That's
when-
what Tarantino says. Like when somebody finds something clever about his movies, he's like, I didn't fucking do that intentionally, but
Yeah.
now I did.
Now it did. Yeah.
Well, there's like a sequence when they're on land, and it's like it's straight out of like a rom-com. And I was like, what is this doing in this movie? There's no like, I don't know. It's very jarring. It's like, oh, it's like a 1990s rom-com now.
Mermaids?
It's terrible.
No mermaids.
No mermaids?
No. Actually, no. There was kind of like mer people,
that counts.
but they were ugly. They weren't hot.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if I was.
Stereotyping. That's me. I thought the mermaid would be slamming.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the dangerous thing about stereotypes both
Have a
ways.
nice fish dinner with her,
Yeah, everybody thinks that I could just rub my legs and put together Moonlight Sonata, but I can't.
Beautiful piece.
Oh my God, that boy Beethoven.
Oh,
Couldn't hear for shit, but he could write.
Beethoven or Ludwig?
Just like referring to him.
Yeah.
Which name do I?
Yeah.
Oh well, I mean, two
I thought you
great
were asking
names.
who you like better.
No. Ludwig or Beethoven? What, like, people call me Anthony or Nash. What are you doing, Ludwig or Beethoven?
If I feel like you got to be his friend. You got to know him on a personal level.
Beethoven.
Those are who's got the better name though? Ludwig Beethoven or Amadeus Mozart?
Amadeus.
That's a fucking and the middle name Wolfgang.
Yeah.
Well, Amadeus, that's a title. It's Amadeus.
Yeah.
You go see that movie. I'm not going to go see Ludwig.
I might name my kid that.
That's a
Amadeus
good point. Yeah,
Mangino.
you're not going to see Ludwig.
Is there a kid on the way?
No.
Oh.
Ludwig is like a 1997 like Ryan Johnson movie.
Ludwig just sounds like Ludwig, like greasy, you know,
Yeah, it does.
like a lunch pail worker. Ludwig. Ludwig.
What about a mechanic?
Who are you casting as Ludwig?
David Spade.
David Spade. Is Ludwig. That's perfect casting. You Bowl to direct it.
Yeah.
Take my word for it. You.
Is there a movie on these guys yet?
Amadeus.
Yeah.
You didn't watch Amadeus in
That's
school?
a great movie.
No.
Music class? Good movie.
I probably did.
It's on Netflix. Let's talk about something a little better. We already have our review, so cut it in. Spoiler review of Spider-Verse. Teddy, if you want to give your quick thoughts before we play that.
It's the best movie I've seen so far.
Ever?
Say ever.
No, but this movie was just great. It hit on every, it had every aspect that you want in a Spider-Man movie. Like, it was funny, had a lot of action, it was serious, emotional. It was just perfect. All the characters in it, every supporting character, the new Spider-Mans that came in, they were so funny. That black and white Spider-Man, who was he?
Spider-Man Noir.
Oh my god, dude, I was crying. And Porky,
Nash, you would have loved this.
yeah,
Yeah, you would.
Porky
like it
was
a lot.
hilarious.
Where's he inviting?
You know what it is though with you? I'm thinking of old Nash. You know, like new Nash is ready for the superhero movies. I think
Yeah.
Deadpool 2.
I'm ready to experiment.
The script was how funny was this movie?
Oh, I was crying.
I think it's the funniest movie of the year.
I was laughing. I remember hearing you laugh out loud. I was like, oh, it's fucking great. The whole fucking crowd's laughing. The guy behind us was so loud. You hear him laughing?
He was having. I was upset about how much he liked the movie.
He was screaming.
He was yucking it up, man.
Yeah.
He was like, ha ha! Every fucking.
Oh my
little
god!
thing.
And the soundtrack when Biggie came on,
Ooh, the soundtrack was so good.
they were killing
Sunflower's
it.
been stuck in my head for the past week, and I don't know the words, so I sing it like how Miles sings it. It's pretty great.
Dude, what's your favorite joke? I think my two favorite jokes was the where everything's being destroyed in Aunt May's house, and then Ham just fucking breaks a plate on his head. And when they're trying to steal the computer, and Spider-Man's like, "Dude, we don't need the monitor."
Yeah,
And he
that.
just tosses it away.
I liked when he hands him the hammer and says it can fit in your pocket.
Oh
I was crying. The North Spider-Man had a lot too.
So I'm happy
just
I
like,
saw the movie already.
just like the way that he was talking. Like, I always find it funny.
Nick Cage,
Like the black and white,
old
detective. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god.
And here is our review with Marissa and Aaron and me. Bo, take it away. Thanks, Bo. Hello, everybody. I just threw it to myself from the future, from the past, the present.
The self alley. I like it.
That's a different Bo Oliver. The multiverse. And we're here. I'm here with Aaron again.
You can't just
Past Aaron.
can't get rid of me. Huh?
No, yeah. Future, past, present. Just keep sticking around. And Marissa, her triumphant return. Not really triumphant. You were here for Westworld.
Yeah.
It's been a while though. Nash even came back before her.
Oh my God, yeah, that's crazy. Tony the Robot. Well, I mean, he made a lasting impression.
I want to do this. That's disrespectful.
Did you hear about that man in Russia who was just inside their AI robot that they were touting to the world?
Dude, that was awesome.
That's
I love it.
yeah. I
I feel like that's not even something that should be real. Like, did they think they were going to get away with having a man in a robot suit?
now I want to go back and watch all their presentations. Definitely a robot. It's definitely not a man in a robot. We're telling you, people. We're here today to talk about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the new animated Spider-Man movie from Sony Animation Pictures. Yeah, so what did you guys think about this? I guess we'll just jump right into it. Spoiler review. Best Spider-Man movie of all time? That's what I think.
It was awesome, man. And we were lucky enough to see the 30-minute preview at Comic-Con. But even from that, I could just tell, and it wasn't finished yet, and it was kind of cool to see the unfinished product. But the 30 minutes we got were fucking awesome.
No, yeah, it was incredible. And this movie, the finished product, everybody's been saying it. It's like a comic book come to life. And the animation style, I want to see the behind the scenes of this movie. That's the first thing I wanted to do after watching it. The animation was gorgeous. All the colors was very vibrant.
It was a little jarring at first because a lot of shots, like especially the background, were out of focus, but like very apparent. It was almost
Was
like
that on purpose?
It felt like you needed 3D glasses.
I thought the
Yes.
same exact thing.
But instead it was just like, no, you just have
Was
to
that
look at it
our
like this.
projector or was
No,
that the movie?
That was the movie.
It looked textured.
But it was like once you get used to it, it's pretty cool.
It looked like it was you were reading it on a page or watching it on a page, and I think that was very intentional. You could see some of the lines if you look closely in some of the characters and just the landscape. You could see like lines, like it was printed onto the screen. It was very cool. And I think the only person or the first person to give it a negative review on Rotten Tomatoes, he complained about that.
Oh, he did.
That's why he gave it a rotten. He said that he seeked out somebody at the screener from Sony to like complain and ask him, like, "Are you kidding me? Like you put this out?"
It's intentional. Yeah, but the animation style. I remember when that first trailer came out, and it's the shot from the end of the movie where Miles is taking the leap of faith.
Which
That was the first shot.
That shot where he's upside down or it inverts and he's just falling is amazing.
Yeah. It kind of looked like some Doctor Strange visuals going on there.
I thought the exact same thing. It was like Doctor Strange mixed with Spider-Man, mixed with I don't know, something cool.
Yeah, and coming into it, I thought, I hope we get enough focus on Miles Morales, that there's enough time to develop that character, because they're going with the storyline from the comics, the multiverse, all the different Spider-Man legacy characters that have been created. I thought they spent enough time on Miles where it's very much still his movie.
I was a little worried too because Homecoming borrows a lot from Miles Morales' original comics. Like specifically, Ned is basically Miles' best friend Genki in the comics. So I was confused at first when they announced that this was a Spider-Verse movie because I was like, how are you going to introduce a new character like this? But ultimately, I thought they did really well. Like, I was impressed.
Was Genki his roommate in this?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure that was Genki. And at the end, like, you get the hint, like, they fist bump. I'm assuming if they get a chance to make more movies, that'll be his best friend. But,
Yeah, his man in the chair.
Yeah.
It's very awesome, all the different nods they gave the previous Spider-Man movies. You could see the original Spider-Man, the Raimi ones, and the Homecoming. There's a couple odes to that as well. It was really cool to see that. And this is like I knew Miles Morales as a character, but it's like my first introduction because I haven't read any of the comics or anything like that. And he's a great character, man. Awesome.
You said he was cooler than Peter Parker.
Yeah, Peter he's a little nerdy, you know. Miles got that drip when he was walking down, seeing his old schoolmates,
He was.
and then he like walked into the new school and he was kind of like an outcast. And I kind of like that.
He was slipping and sliding all over that sidewalk.
Yeah, so Miles is fucking awesome, and even the supporting characters too. His dad was great. His mom was awesome. It was just all around. It was just a great movie, and it's not even an animated movie because that's the disclaimer people say, like, oh, it should win Best Animated Picture. It's good for a cartoon. It's good for a kids movie. Just a great fucking movie.
That's a whole nother video, man, about how best animated features. It's such a ridiculous category.
I do think that Spider-Man is one of, like, he's a character that really benefits from seeing him animated because he can do a whole bunch of crazy stuff that a person in real life can't do, even if they try to CGI him. Tom Holland's suit, like, he's a great acrobat, whatever he does, but like he can't do the same stuff obviously that we were seeing in the movie.
No, yeah, there are certain characters, a lot of them, that just translate better in animation, even in the video game. I said it, them taking that Arkham style for the Spider-Man game, it just fits that character more because
The video game suit was in the movie. Did you see?
I
It
didn't
was
notice
very,
it. Oh,
very.
the one with the white outline,
Yeah, the
right?
white-
Yeah, I
yeah.
did see it. On all the nods to Spider-Man lore, it reminded me of the Lego Batman, where it's being created by people who know the character. Just all the little name drops of creators, the hints to different storylines and alternate universe storylines within the same universe, and all the different Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man Noir, Spider-Ham, Penny Parker.
Yeah, I love how they
Spider-Gwen.
took all those different styles and it worked. It didn't clash at all, and it was amazing to see. It's just like different animation styles for different characters and really absurd characters too, like a fucking Spider Pig, man. That's but
Spider Pig.
it works so well. Like it didn't.
That's real, right?
Spider-Ham, yeah.
Spider-Ham, yeah.
Yeah, he has his own, I think he has his own run. I know in the Web Warriors comic run, he's one of the main characters, but I can't remember if he actually has his own solo title.
Spider-Man Noir.
Read him in Spider-Verse, not sure if he has his own solo title either. A lot of the characters they introduced in the Spider-Verse comics don't have their own titles,
Right,
besides
right.
for like Spider-Gwen.
Yeah. And that was your Spider-Man history lesson. Yeah, Spider-Man Noir was my favorite out of the different Spider-Man. Nick Cage as the voice.
Yeah.
And he was Superman, right? In
In
Teen Titans Go. Right.
Yeah.
He's a big comic book fan. I know, specifically Superman.
He was supposed to be Superman,
Yeah, he
right?
was.
Like forever ago.
The Death of Superman Returns, directed by the late John Schnepp. He was great as Spider-Man Noir. That's a character where I love that old-timey 1940s.
I loved his fixation on the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
He's colorblind. He just can't tell.
Just the way he was talking too.
Yeah, I
It was
love
like-
that.
It was awesome.
Hey, Johnny.
I'm more of a. I
you
love
throw
John.
the fists.
I love John Mulaney, so Spider-Ham was fucking awesome as well.
Spider-Man was great.
And
I think the funniest joke for me was when all the chaos was going on in Aunt May's house and everything was breaking, and then it shows Spider-Ham, and he just breaks a plate over his head. But even the villains, Doc Ock, I like that version of Doc Ock.
That
Is
was
that
awesome.
from the comic?
No, it's not. At least from Miles's universe, the original comics, Doc Ock is like still a dude in that one.
Well, those synthetic arms.
That
way
was really cool.
Yeah, that it's almost a synthetic skin type substance, where rather than the mechanical Doc Ock arms, I much preferred that because it was more frightening. She seemed very overpowered. That they needed like 4 or 5 Spider-Man to defeat her.
yeah, and I
Good
love,
twist too.
I love what they did with Fisk, Kingpin. He actually had like some motivation and.
Why did they make him look like that?
I
it's
didn't mind it.
Comic wise,
Yeah.
Like, what does he look like naked?
Well, he gets out of like a fucking Navigator or Escalade, and he's bigger than the fucking SUV.
yeah, it's like the clown car. That to me kept throwing me off. I guess they made him that big so he can fight Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, he's a fucking unit. I mean, it's not the one in Daredevil is very humanized, but in the comics, he's peak strength. You know, he's peak durability. He's basically superhuman, as superhuman as you can get. So
Good year for Fisk, man. 'Cause
yeah,
he was great in Daredevil season 3.
Rip Daredevil.
oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Moment of
he's got
silence.
Punisher in January. I think that one might. I think it might make it.
And if not, Jessica Jones is definitely sticking around.
But yeah, he had some backstory to him. He had some motivation. It wasn't one dimensional. So
What about Miles' family too? The relationship with Aaron, and that's Donald Glover's character, right? In Homecoming.
Yeah,
The
that's
Prowler?
Yeah, he's played by in this movie Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala Ali. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a badass. Just the design of the character. He was a frightening villain.
Yeah, and
They actually changed his relationship with Miles in the movie a little bit. In the comics, it's a little more sinister. He's very he finds out that Miles is Spider-Man, and he tries to basically make him like his weapon. He's like, "Oh, you're my nephew. You just helped me out with some stuff." And in this one, it was much lighter.
Yeah, maybe if it was just a Miles movie rather than having all the other Spider-Man, they could have gotten into that. That would have been really interesting. But that moment, too, when he reveals himself to be Miles, I didn't know what Aaron was going to do. It was a very tense moment.
Because obviously I've read the comics, so I thought he was gonna kill him. I thought he was really gonna go for it.
When he put his mask down, I thought he was telling himself, this is not my nephew, this is just the enemy.
yeah, I kind of got that too. If I had to pick a negative, though, it was there was a lot of different things going on. They couldn't really properly set up all the different Spider-Men besides Miles and Peter and Gwen, and a lot of the other villains. I would have liked to get more between Doc Ock and Kingpin's relationship, because you see at one point when he tells her to get it done, and what do they call the machine?
The Collider.
Yeah, he says, "Fix my collider," and she says, "Our collider."
Yeah,
There was some disconnect there that we didn't really get.
And she was so cool, too.
Yeah, you could put the pieces together, but you really I wanted to see a little more, but that's just nitpicking. It was a blast, but especially too when you guys were talking about how you were scared that you wouldn't get enough Miles and for him to properly develop. I think we got enough of that, but I feel like having everything else surrounding it and all these different characters kind of took away from his character.
It did, yes.
So I kind of would have liked to see, maybe they'll do that in a sequel. This would be a good setup, and then you just go straight Miles into the sequel. I would enjoy that because he's such a great character. But
I did love his relationship with old Peter Parker. And that final scene when he's ready to sacrifice himself, it was almost a suicidal Peter Parker who had a death wish, that he messed up so much in his own world that he doesn't even want to go back. He's looking to make the sacrifice. And just seeing a worn-down 37-year-old overweight Spider-Man, I want the MCU to go for another 20 years so we can see Tom Holland grow into that character and he just has all the backstory and the weight of going through the MCU. I think that would be really interesting. But yeah, I mean, all the supporting characters, Miles' family, to see a character represented like this, half Puerto Rican, half black, growing up in modern day Brooklyn, it's an interesting take on Spider-Man, and I usually don't like legacy characters, but I think I'm with you where I prefer the Miles Morales character over Peter Parker. That's what Brooklyn is, what he represents. You know,
Yeah.
the swagger, the music, the graffiti, walking around the block with the little bop in your step.
Relationship with his family, like his mom just like speaking Spanish all the time, because like personally, like that's how I grew up. My parents speak Spanish like that, so it was like, and it's not translated in movie, but you still understand. Like even I feel like if you didn't know Spanish, you would probably still understand what she was saying to him.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's like a very like you feel immersed.
It's very fluid.
Yeah.
Feels very authentic. I always kind of hate that though, like when they don't put subtitles.
Well, they do that in The Godfather with Michael Corleone and Sollozzo, but it's like a 2-minute scene.
It's like I'm always like someone in this theater understands them, but I don't, and I'm missing something.
It's always great being that guy that understands.
Yeah.
I've never been that guy, but
Yeah, maybe I should have paid attention more.
I'm gonna go to the movies in France, and when it's like a scene in English, I'm gonna be like, "You guys want to know what's going on here?"
It's like, oh yeah, we do, because it's not like America. We all know 2 different languages.
That is true. Yeah, they probably know.
Just the vibe, everything with the soundtrack was perfect too. I mean, it was just had a great authentic feel to it, and that's something I really appreciated too. When it's such an absurd story and all these different things going on, it still felt very real for the
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah, it
and
did. Little landmarks, 42nd Street, that you would see the different blocks, the subways, even the voice of the guy on the subway. Please watch your step when exiting the vehicle. Felt like New York.
Yeah, and just the reaction too when Miles as Peter dies, just everyone kind of stops, everyone's on their phone, it's big news, like people reacting to it.
He got smoked. That was a great joke too when old Spider-Man comes to that world and he sees blonde Spider-Man.
That was cool too, how they did all the different flashbacks and setups with the comics and everything. That was
Do
pretty
you
cool.
think he's Tobey Maguire? Or is that just like a fun nod?
I mean, his comic said The Amazing Spider-Man when they were like, okay, let's start again.
Right.
So I'm going to assume yes. I'd want to assume that Sam Raimi's like movie version.
I want to say I saw a headline that they approached Tobey Maguire to come back,
I think I read that
and
too.
he said no.
Oh,
Or
no.
or they just kind of tossed it around.
What's the last thing you've seen him in?
The Great Gatsby.
Yeah.
Molly's Game.
Okay.
Well, it's not him, but it's based on him.
Wait. Oh, okay.
The super crazy poker player.
Yeah, that's. Maybe
He
you
was in
should.
Seabiscuit.
Yeah. Was he the horse?
Well, personally, the last thing I saw him in was Spider-Man 3.
Oh yeah.
That scene is still iconic. Underrated movie. So would you guys say this is the best Spider-Man?
That's.
I
a
don't
lot.
know.
Homecoming was my favorite up until now. I think this is better than Homecoming for me.
It's so different though. You got. It's hard to really compare them, and just because of the scope of the movie, there's so many things going on. Homecoming was Peter Parker. That's the main focus, and Little Iron Man doesn't take away too much, but
Well, that was a big criticism of Spider-Man 3, that there was too much going on.
yeah.
But then this movie comes out and they show that you can do that.
Oh yeah, that was just like nitpicking things like I would have liked to see done better or done differently, but overall it was just a blast. And
This movie was also pretty short, like for a superhero movie recently.
Yeah, it was.
I think it was under 2 hours.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I mean, it's an animated
Yeah.
animated movie, and they did some crazy stuff in that animation, so it makes sense. But
Animation usually doesn't go past 2 hours.
it's hard to, like right after seeing it too. I loved it, but you kind of want to wait maybe a week or two to reflect back on it, maybe see it again before you go out there making bold claims.
honestly, my favorite Spider-Man story might be the one for the video game.
Yeah. No,
Like,
I agree with that.
The in-game story for that, like, I cried at the end of that.
No, that's perfect. Yeah.
But obviously, like, it's different mediums. Like, Miles Morales for me is like entirely separate from Peter Parker, like how I think of them. Obviously, he's the legacy character, but Miles wouldn't exist without Peter, so they're just different to me.
Yeah. It's hard to compare the video game, but all right, so final scores? I would say 9.2 out of 10.
Ooh. We've been having the same scores lately. That's crazy. I have a 9.3, but very close.
I was going to say 9.4, but then I docked a couple points. Not enough Spider-Ham.
He was great.
I think I give it like a 9.5. I don't want to give it a 10.
You do want to give it
I
a
want to
10.
give it a 10, but I feel like I can't. I'm seeing it again tomorrow, so who knows? Who knows if my
You're looking
opinion
for
will
those
change.
0.5 extra points.
Yeah, the 0.5.
Well, we'll let you know because we still have to do Aquaman in the future, but that's probably going to be before this. Whole bunch of different stuff going on, so you can text in your adjusted score, and
Yeah, let us
we'll
know.
let everyone know. Probably forget, but
Live text from my graduation. It's like, this is my updated Spider-Man
This
score.
is updated Spider-Man. I've seen it 7 times now, and I'm going to confidently say it's a 9.
By the time Aquaman comes out, I will have seen it 4 times, like planned.
what do you think? Best animated feature?
I'm definitely going back for another watch. And yeah, what else do we have? Incredibles 2, Mirai.
Well, that's for the Golden Globes, but pretty much the same thing for the Oscars.
It looks like I think Mirai's going to get
Incredibles 2
nominated.
doesn't even compare to this. Like,
No.
story-wise, I think Incredibles 2 really falls flat in comparison.
For me, it's a toss-up between this and Isle of Dogs.
I'd like to see this get Best Picture.
Nah,
I mean, the
probably won't.
animation style is
It
so
won't.
different. It won't, no. But,
Toy
like,
Story 3 did.
That's Toy Story 3.
I know, yeah. That's a whole nother video, though. I hate Best Anim. All right, guys, so thanks for listening. That was our
That was
weekly
a minute, dude.
Nerd Soup podcast. Yeah,
It's a
we've been
long
here.
one, right?
Yeah, it's a real long one.
Yeah, you got a little taste of everybody, you know. The whole
Go see
gang.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Well, they probably already did.
I'm sweating
Yeah.
over here,
They
man.
listened to the
promote it.
spoiler review.
All right,
Promote
for Bo Oliver, Aaron, thanks for joining me, as usual.
I'll see you tomorrow, man.
Where can the kids find you?
Like on Twitter.
And
At-
Nash,
at-
where can the kids find you?
I was gonna be like, I don't know, at the movie theater. I don't know. At Nerd Soup Monkey. I tweet stuff, and people kind of like it. So that's life.
That's life. And Nash, thanks again, man, for coming back.
Oh,
Coming a fan favorite. It's always good to have you.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I want to be more of the Andy Bernard of this show rather than the Marvin Nash. Like, I want you guys to keep me around because the merger in the office, they were supposed to get rid of everybody.
We don't like The Office here.
Yeah, we do.
It's a Parks and Rec show.
Nah.
Sorry.
It's
Okay.
The Office.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
Scratch that. No,
If you
we're
guys,
kidding. We like The Office. I just
do
want to
you?
clarify that. Yes. People think we hate The Office.
Because
There's a joke I
He
wanna
hates
s-
The Office.
This is a joke I want to steal
He
from
doesn't
another
hate The Office.
He
podcast,
does.
but I don't want to steal it.
Don't do it.
Copywriting.
Can we say that legally? That was funny.
Well, if you care to see how ugly and pointless my life is, Anthony JQ Nash on Twitter and Instagram.
I am a human mistake.
I am a human mistake. is
And
right.
Ted, where can they find you? Because they don't know already.
I think I've been saying my Twitter handle wrong this whole time. I think I say Nerd Soup Teddy, but I'm Teddy Nerd Soup. Does that matter?
I'm
You
sure.
think?
Maybe that's
think I'll
why
come up.
people aren't following you.
Could be.
Yeah. Might have to do with it. Something to do with it.
Teddy Nerd Soup.
Yeah, and I'm running the Nerd Soup Twitter, so that's what I do. If you want to see how.
Great job, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Thank
If
you.
you're still listening, comment lamb. Comment lamb.
There we go. Comment,
Fucking ham.
Motherfucking
ham.
Fucking no, do lamp. Lamp. Comment lamp if you're still listening to this.
Tell
And I'll follow you.
Comment lamp and comment birds aren't real. Let's get this trending.
All right.
We need to get to the bottom of this.
How
Are
can
we on
birds
the
be
air?
real if wings aren't?
How can birds be real if our eyes are not real?
Yeah.